Hello YouTube, Gaming Out from weedogammin here to do a tutorial for our 1.3.1 bukkit server with bpermissions and essentials. So first step to getting your server up and running is to get all the files. Today we will be needing craft bukkit, essentials, and bpermissions. Now I'm just going to show you guys where to get these files and how to download them because I've already downloaded them to speed things up. Okay. So the first file we're going to need is the most important, which is craft bukkit. So you can see the URL at the top there, and I'll also put it down in the description in case you miss it. So all you're going to do is just click the red box there and hit save. Bam, you have craft bukkit. I advise you save it to your desktop so it's easy to access. Okay, so the next file we're going to go after is probably the second most important, which is essentials. So once again, the URL is at the top, but it will be in the description as well. Getting essentials is easy. All you have to do is scroll down and click the Essentials Core Download. And only click this. Do not click the Group Manager because bpermission does the same thing as Group Manager, but it's better. And you don't need the extras. So we just click on Essentials Core Download and click Save. Okay? So now we are going to get bpermissions. The URL is at the top once again, but it will be in the description. So all we are going to do is click download at the top right corner of the page, right here, and hit save. Okay, so last, but definitely not least, we are going to need some script, so the computer knows how to run craft bukkit. For this you can just click on craft bukkit link, which is, if you go www.bukkit.org, it's right here. Or you can follow the link in the description. So, as you can see, there are two options here. One is for Java 6 and one is for Java 7. To figure out what version of Java you have, all you have to do is type in CMD in the start menu, and then type in Java space hyphen VERSION version. Hit enter, and as you can see by the first line after I type Java version, I'm running 1.6. Okay, so I am going to copy this first line. If it said Java 1.7, then you're going to save this one. Okay, so now we're done with getting everything that we need onto our computer, and now it's time to put all of the files in a folder correctly. First things first, we're going to need a folder for our files. So right click on the desktop and select new and folder. Name it whatever. When you create it, it'll have the name highlighted, and just change it to whatever you want it to be. Okay, so now that that's done, we're going to grab craft bukkit and we're going to drag it into your folder. I've already made one, as you can see, called YouTube server. So after we have the craft bukkit in here, we're going to right click it and we're going to hit rename and rename it to just craft bukkit, because if there's anything else, the next step won't work. So now what we're going to do is we're going to right click on an empty space in the folder. We're going to go new and text document. If you don't have this option, you can go to the start menu and type in notepad or wordpad, and either one works. Just use normal notepad, control V, and then file, save as, YouTube server, and we're going to save it as run.bat, and make sure it's all lowercase, and then save as type, make sure it's all files. And we're going to save it in there. As you can see, a Windows batch file created called run, and there you go. So now what we're going to do is going to create another folder inside your folder you created on your desktop, and you're going to name it plugins. Just PL plugins. Okay? And then you're going to take that, you're going to drag bpermissions in there, and then you're going to click and open essentials with WinRAR or 7-zip or any other zip program, and just go open with whatever one you have, highlight by shift clicking and dragging and dropping into that folder. Now you can close this and go back and you can run your server. And it's looking like there's no errors. Creating system files, creating the spawn area, and I'm just going to speed this up. Okay, now that that's done, we can just type in stop and hit enter, or we can close it up here. As you can see, it just stops the server. And when it says push any key to continue, just hit space or whatever, and then it closes it. And that concludes the part of installing all our files. Okay, so now comes the part of editing all of our new files. So the first thing we're going to take a look at is the server properties file. I'm just going to double click on that. In this folder you can see that you can change many server options, such as if you want the nether to be open to players, what your role name is, if you want to allow flight, your port, your level type, your level seed, your server IP, which I will go over on how to make how to figure out how to get your IP, port forward, and all that stuff in a different tutorial. You can change your build height, if you want to spawn NPCs, if you want your server to be whitelist, if you want your server to spawn animals, what texture pack you want to use. Online mode, obviously you want true. PvP, enable or disable if players can kill each other. Difficulty, game mode, say if you want to have a creative server, it needs to be set to 1. Your max players, if you want to spawn monsters, if you want to generate structures such as villages, temples, mine shafts, and the message of the day, which is the message that shows up in the multiplayer thing when you open Minecraft. Okay, so you don't need to change anything there. So let's head over to plugins and bpermissions. Now, I already did all of this while recording, but then my recording got overwritten, so I'm just going to go over it again with you guys, but instead of typing it in, I'm just going to go over it. So the first thing we're going to edit is the groups in the world folder, but first let's go over what these are. This folder and this folder are pointless unless you have global files enabled in the config folder. In the config folder, custom nodes you don't need. Mirrors and tracks I'll go over after I go over the world. So head into world and click on groups. And as you can see, I have this all set up. So the first thing you want to do is you set this to the name of the group that you want newbies or new players to be by default. And that says guest because that's my lower rank of the two that I made. First thing you're going to do is you're going to type in groups and a colon, because you're only going to start with default and default. So you're going to push enter once and then type in groups, colon, then enter and hit tab. But before you do that, you have to make sure that in your settings and in your preferences, in your language menu and tab settings, you have replace tab by space checked and tab size 2. So, continuing on, making sure there's not a tab here from pushing tab, you're going to type in guest and a colon. And then you're going to hit enter and tab and type in permissions, and then enter, type in groups, enter, type in meta, enter tab, type priority with 2 apostrophes after a space, prefix, colon, space, 2 apostrophes, suffix, colon, space, 2 apostrophes. And that's the format of how each group needs to be laid out. See, admin's the same. Now let's go over what each one is. There's guest, which is the group name. And then there's permissions, which is what each group gets. And then there is groups, which is basically inheritance. Meta, which contains priority level, prefix, and the suffix. Now, the priority level is so that the permissions files knows which permissions to overwrite when another group inherits said group. So since admin's priority is 20 and group's priority is 10, when I promote someone to admin, instead of having the prefix guest, they will get the prefix admin. But if I had this set to 10 and this set to 20 and I promote someone to admin, their prefix would stay as guest. And any negative permissions would be passed on to this one. So now that we have that covered, under prefix you can have colon and then what you want your prefix to be and another colon. Sorry, not a colon, an apostrophe. Make sure your priority level is between apostrophes also. Okay, so as you can see, I have a bunch of permissions already written out. And you can find permissions at or you know what, I'll just go here. It's ess.khhq.net/wiki/command_reference/perm. And I will include a link to this site in the description as well. So that's the group's YML covered. And then if you go back to here, let me click on users, it'll have this, and it'll just be blank. So instead of going through that, I will show you guys how it should be formatted. First you'll have users, and then enter and space, and just put your name in. So it'll be users, colon, enter, tab, sorry, not space, gaming out, colon, enter, and then underneath gaming out, you'll hit tab, and you'll go permissions, enter, I'm pretty sure it's groups, enter, and I want to be the higher rank on my server, so I'm going to just put this to space admin. So when I log in for the first time, I'll be admin because this overwrites anything in the groups folder. And then we're going to hit enter, go meta, colon, then prefix, colon, 2 apostrophes, suffix, colon, 2 apostrophes. We don't need any priority because, as I said, this folder always overwrites the groups folder. So if I did as a prefix, I'm awesome, instead of having admin before my name, I'll have I'm awesome. Okay, so the next folder or file we're going to look into is the mirrors. Mirrors is very simple. So we're just going to click on it, and here it opened here. And when you open this file, it'll say example_world_nether colon space example_world. All you're going to do is delete the example and then the first underscore, and then you have this, which will work for your mirrors. And what a mirror is it basically copies the permission from world, or it copies the groups and the users from world, and it puts it in the world end and world nether. It's just making it easier for you so you don't need to type out your permissions over and over again. And the next folder, which is a little more complicated than the mirrors, is called tracks. Now when you first open this folder, it'll be default colon, and it'll say like default mod, and admin, or something like that. And as you can see, I changed it so it's default, guest, and admin. So when you type /promote, it automatically goes to the default track, and I'll be promoted to guest. And if I do it again, I'll be promoted to admin. And if I'm an admin, I do /demote, I'll be demoted in guest. And then I don't know what happens if you do /demote again. Anyways, you can add multiple tracks. Say if you want to be able to promote to a specific group, with just having to type in /promote instead of /promote group, you just type in /promote guest, and you'll automatically be a guest. If you do /promote admin, you'll automatically be an admin. Okay, and now lastly, the config file. And when you first open this, it'll look like this. Okay? So all you really have to change in this one is track type, unless you don't want your permissions to autosave. So there's 3 track types. There's single, there is multi, and there is lump. Single tracks make it so when someone's promoted, they only have the rank that they're promoted to. If your track type is multi, when someone's promoted, they will get the rank they were promoted to and their previous rank. And if the track type is lump, when they're promoted, they will get all the ranks in that track. So I'm just going to keep it as single because I don't see a use for multi or lump on my server. So I'm just going to hit save. Okay, so that is bpermissions covered, because the world end and will nether were covered in the mirrors. Users and groups have no purpose unless you have global. I'll show you. This use global files enabled, and this you don't really need to pay attention to. So that's bpermissions. So now that we're done with bpermissions, we are going to move on to essentials. So pretty much to customize essentials, we don't need to touch these because it's all covered in this essentials config. But before we do that, what I want to show you guys is to do create new text document, and then just name it rules, R-U-L-E-S, enter. And then in there, you can edit your server rules by just going and say 1. You don't need these square brackets, but I find it makes things neater in the game. And 9 is 1 page, so I usually try to keep my rules between 1 and 9 so that users don't have to do /rules2/rules3 and so on. So just some basic ones. And file, save. Actually, back. File, save. Okay, so let's go into config, which is where all of the stuff that you'll be having to edit is. So essentials is very easy to edit because on top of each place where you write something, it has a full description of what it does and then what you should do to edit it and why you would want to edit it. So this is just teleport stuff. As you can see, it tells you what it is and then it gives you a number for the delay. This is teleport and vulnerability, so I'm going to set this to 10 seconds. So if someone does like if he TPAs to someone so that that person can kill him, they can't kill him for 10 seconds. So it gives them time to get away. Heal /heal, this is for like admins, so users won't be able to use it, so you should just set that to 0 so admins can do as much as they want. What to prevent from I give, so right here you'd put any items that you don't want to be able to be given by anyone. So yeah, 46, which is TNT, and I don't know what 11 and 10, I think there's something to do with lava. Spawn limit, 1 on smite, overriding commands, God is an override command, I guess, for damage. Disable commands, here you put any commands that you don't want people to be able to do, and an example here is /nick. So if I took this away, nick would be a disabled command. And here's actually a list of all of the commands that have essentials dot before them. This is just saying it's essentials dot AFK without the essentials in front of it. Okay, so here is where you pick, or where you can make different kits for your world. And down below is where you can set what the default kit is. So we scroll down some more, and this is enabled signs, but I'm pretty sure they're all automatically enabled. But just in case, I'm going to go ahead and delete all this. Okay, sign per use per second, let's just set it to 10 so that someone can click the sign in a second. So this is for backups, don't really need to pay attention, but if you want to read over it, it tells you about it right there. This is here. Okay, so auto AFK is 300 seconds, and then here you can set if you want people to get kicked for being AFK on your server. So let's just say after this timeout in seconds, the user will be kicked from the server. Okay, so let's set this for 300 seconds again. So 400. So it will either go off 400 seconds after auto AFK makes him AFK, or it'll go off 100 seconds after. I'm not sure how it works. And I'd advise you set both of these to true, so that people can't be griefed when they're AFK. If you don't have this set, which actually I'm not going to have set. But you can set it if you want. Okay, moving on. Cancel AFK and move, yes. Death messages, true. God and worlds. I put this one in because I didn't want people to have God and world end, because that's just cheap. This stuff, so oversized stack, you can set stacks so that they're larger than 64, and this just enables oversized stacks. Should wait pair enchant, log on attack delay, this is the delay, people can't attack you after you log in, so I'm just going to set that to 10 seconds again. Central's home. So if no, spawn them at spawn if there's no home. Update bed at daytime. World home permissions. Give some, no, you don't want that unless you want them to be able to teleport from world to world with /home. Actually, no. Never mind. Set home multiple. I don't want default to have more than one home, but VIP and staff can have multiple. TPA accept cancellation. I'm going to set this to 200 so that if someone sends you a TPA request, it's not infinite. And I'm not going to do anything with this eco because I don't have any economy plugins. But you know what? Now actually, because I enable those signs, I'm going to do an experiment if can still have an economy, so let's give him 500 to start. Command costs. So here you can set how much it costs to do a command. And I'm not sure what the format is for this. So if I need to delete this and delete that, now I'm going to delete these two things here. Yeah, see, /kit tools cost 1500, but it's just stone tools, so I'm gonna set that to 300. And let's say space /home. No. Yeah, /home costs. Teleport to home, it costs 20 per use. I want to specify that just because I'm cool like that, even though I don't think you have to. But anyways, enter, back, and then here I'm going to type in home, and then .. 20. And we can see if that works after. I want my currency symbol to be the money sign, max money to be 10 trillion, min money to be negative 10,000. I don't want people way overspending those, so I'm going to set that to negative 100. Economy log, false, because I don't really want to hear about that in the console all the time. Essentials help, we can leave that here. In Essentials chat, this is where you choose what you want your chat display to look like. And because, oh wait, did we? I don't think we did. I didn't look at that up here. Okay, so up here in global, it said change display name. Now if you have a plugin, such as bpermissions, you want this set to true so that the prefix in it works. So just gonna scroll back down, Essentials chat. So, as the format that I have currently, it would say, it would put in the prefix right here, and then have N6, which is yellow, and I put that in customly, display name, and F, which is white, and then this little less than sign. So it would be my prefix, and whatever color code I have it set for, which I don't have any color code set for it, so it would be white. Then it would be this in yellow, and then it would be the message. And then this is just more on different types of formats. Essentials protect, you don't really need to know any of that, you should just leave it. But for this is giving you alerts. So I'm pretty sure this is lava bucket, and this is on placement. So whenever a user places block 10, 11, 46, or 327, it notifies you. I'm pretty sure this is lava, this is flowing lava, this is TNT, and this is the lava bucket. So which blocks should be prevented from placing? All these ones. So pretty much if someone's placing those blocks, it's going to be an admin, an owner, or someone that's hacking. And which block should be able prevented from breaking? And which block should be not be pushed by pistons? So you can just list those in the same format it's listed up there. Now here you might want to change, say this. You might want to prevent creeper explosions, but also you could just change block damage. So if you put true here, and a creeper walks up behind someone and explodes, it'll still injure the player, but there won't be any block damage, which is cool. Ender Dragon, no, we want to disable that, so, okay. that looks like, oh, right here, TNT explosion. True. We don't want TNT to explode and mess stuff up. Same as this. Here. True. And true. Just stuff to prevent griefing and stuff. Okay, and this is, you can put true on any of these if you don't want one of those to spawn. Say I don't want silverfish to spawn, so I can go true on silverfish. Okay, so this is how big creeper explosion is. This protect signs, rails, block below rails, block above rails. This is storing signs in the memory before storing. Should fall damage be disabled, false, PvP, false, jump, false. Build true. Well, this is actually disable building for those people who have build set to false in the permissions. So I'm gonna have to change that, but we'll come back to it. And then we'll just keep all this same. And right here is where you choose what the default kit for new players is. And that's it. Oh, also you can change this so that they respawn at their home when they die instead of spawn. But I'm going to keep it as that. So, save. So that's essentials. And if you need, like if you don't know what the block ID of something is, it has a handy dandy list right here. As you can see. And yeah. Oh, this worth file just sets how much each item costs at a store, or when you do /worth in your inventory and /sell, how much it will sell for. So you can change that if you want, but I'm not going to get into that because it'll take forever to go all the way through and change all the stuff. Okay, so I'm just going to put my server properties file from my server that works into here. Delete, yes. So that I can show you guys that it all works. So now we're just gonna hit run and hope that it all works out. Okay, so it's loading everything. Oh, never mind. Looks like it's done. No error codes. So now we're gonna get on Minecraft and log in and multiplayer, and there it is, online. So if I do /promote gaming out guest, enter, it says I'm now a guest in world and world the end. I don't know why another didn't come up. Maybe I did something wrong in the permissions. But now if I do help, /help. Oh look, I'm off because I put myself in the ops file. So op gaming out. Okay, so /help, and it still gives me the help /set home, and my home set /home. I can teleport home. So that all works, and see if I can build. Yep, I can build 2. So let's try a command that I don't have. So /kill, enter. See, it says I don't have access to that command. How about /give? No. So now I'm going to try promoting myself to an admin. Promote gaming out admin. And I can do this because in my other folder, if I go open my YouTube server and I go into plugins and bessentials, under the world and users, I gave myself permissions to use bpermissions, bukkit, op, and to use tracks. Now, it's important to enable tracks .star or you won't be able to promote someone because you need a track to promote someone. So, now that I have that open, I'm just going to show you guys that I changed this around a bit too, because the first time I did it, I had spelled essentials wrong, so there's a problem there. And also, I had a colon down here, so it messed that up too. So, just gonna not save that because I didn't change anything. And see if now I can do /give. And as you can see, I can, and if I talk, it says admin in yellow, because I said I color coded the admin, and gaming out, hey. And the reason that my name isn't colored is because when I first tried loading the server, I had messed something up when where I put the callout in the video previous to this, where we were doing the kit tools. I messed up there and it reloaded my whole essentials file, so I have to go back and change that again. But yep, that's it. That's how you download bpermissions, essentials, craft bukkit, and install them and then modify all the folders. Thanks for watching, guys.